Hello, welcome to Eva J's Mystical Moments. I am here for the meditation. Today's day number 14, and I'm using the Oracle of Mystical Moments again. The What happened yesterday during the discussion about about my meditation process kind of led me down this little rabbit hole of asking about the cards the card that I pulled just as an example. And so we got started on that, and I just kind of went with it, and it turned into something pretty amazing. So I'm going to go ahead and get started, and I hope that you enjoy. Today is day number 14. Today's March 5th, 2025. So here we go. I said, yesterday we got some news. What is neat about this news is that it proved that Ramon was right. And Sunshine says, you doubted him? I said, not really. I doubted my ability at reading the energy. I'm still learning to use the rods, and the answer to the question I asked came from the rods. It was astounding. Sunshine said, not really. You had a connection to him, and he told you the truth. Don't ever doubt the messages. They are like the warnings we give you. They're not just be careful about such and such, but they are also about something good is coming your way. And I said, at the very least, something good is coming to my husband. But she said, yes, like you finding his glasses this morning. I said, you weren't very helpful. You told me to look in the kitchen. She said, no. I said, try the kitchen. I said, did you know where they were? And she said, sure, I know everything. I said, smart ass. She said, hey, this gave you the chance to find them. After you had looked through the kitchen, I told you the bedroom. What was clever was when you asked your husband to outline what he did when you both got home. It was the exact same thing you did with the Garth Brooks tickets when you went to the university. You had the ability to always find lost items by homing in on on that particular talent. Who am I to tell you how and where things are? You are good at doing that. Once the glasses were found, how did you feel? I said, I felt good. I mean, really good. Like I had done something amazing. My husband was very concerned about them. Sunshine said, yes, he was probably thinking about the money he would have to lay down to get new ones. He also had to consider the fact that driving in the sun without them is no fun, so now he doesn't have to worry about that. I said, yeah, I think he probably figured that I wouldn't do that, but anyway, Sunshine, I do have a question. She said, shoot. And I said, okay, yesterday I did a video about the process of my meditations. During it, I pulled a card that I want to talk about. The card was called House of Flowers. House of Flowers. The card was House of Flowers. Can we break it down a little bit? I love the card, but I have no idea what its meaning could be. She said, sure. What do you see first? I said, I see the rose. It's this one here. My father-in-law used to take pictures of flowers. Roses were his favorite. He would go out and photograph flowers all the time, and the pink rose was his favorite. So when I look at this card, I feel drawn to him. I remember his kindness and how he always called me his daughter. She said, so his memory comes to you. What else? There are other flowers there. I said, I didn't really notice them. I see a soft pink rose, and that's here. Lighter in color, and then the leaves. So the various leaves here. What about the house, she asks. The house seems to be bursting at the seams because the flowers are growing so fast. It makes me think of the story Jack and the Beanstalk, where the two females are standing near the giant's house. But how does that apply to me in my spiritual journey? Sunshine says, look closely at the big rose. Does it seem as though the flower could be more than one flowers? I said, yes, I suppose it could be. But it still doesn't speak to me. Maybe if I am going to fill my house with things, make it things that bring joy and harmony. Sunshine says, think about your teddy bears. Having them brings you joy, even if your home is bursting at the seams. The card could be called the House of Teddy Bears, and it will have this meaning of the prized possessions. What else do you think of? I said, I recall one episode of Touched by an Angel with a woman who had these amazing roses, but she had a very unkind disposition. When she had stroke, she suddenly realized the prejudices for what it was, because the people who she had despised suddenly came to her aid. For some reason, this card sort of speaks to that. And she says, in a way, it could. But since we cannot make out the expressions and the faces of the two girls in the image, it would be hard to infer if that is accurate. But I would also not say it isn't. She goes on to say, the leaves are falling to the ground because they are green. It may mean that spirit is here, that spring is here. But look at the leaves that are inside. What color are they? I said yellowish, as though they are dying. Wait, is it possible that the flowers that are trapped inside and shielded by the sun are on the verge of dying? Is that why the leaves are outside of the house are green and vibrant? And Sunshine says, that's a good summation. The flowers are trapped within the confines of the house. When a person feels trapped either by insecurity or by actions of others, there is a part of their spirit that dies. How do you feel when you experience restraint? When you are told you cannot do something because it is not realistic? And I said, I feel like something inside me dies. Like as much as I want to do something to break free from those restraints, I cannot. Suddenly a card that is supposed to represent something beautiful seems sad. Like the video I saw of the real red panda that sleeps on its tail. I thought it was so cute, and then I realized that it was a captivity, and that broke my heart. And Sunshine says, I think you interpreted the card in a profound way. I said, so is that what it means, like the idea of a caged bird? And Sunshine says, yes, the flowers are trapped in a confined space. The leaves that escape are seen thriving, those still inside wither away and die. I said, so should I pull another card? I need something more optimistic. And she says, okay, shuffle the deck and pull another card. I said, so I did. And the next card I pulled, well, keeping with traditions of stories, I got Lorelei. What immediately caught your attention? She asks. I said, the back part of the tail where the fin is. And Sunshine says, why? And I said, well, the back part of the tail is not generally what I would associate the mermaid to have. I have actually seen the Lorelei on the Rhine River. It was about 15 years ago. She said, so do you notice the implication of size is relevant in both the cards? You have a giant house and one card and a giant-sized mermaid in the other. There are men in the boat. Do you think that this card might be a feminine empowerment card? I said, yes, I noticed that. She said, yes, the mermaid is feminine empowerment. Everything starts with the feminine. Children are born because of the women giving birth. All of the people are affected by the power of women. Anyone who says otherwise has failed to grasp the notion that women's lib is not just about a fancy slogan or ideal, but it is about a fundamental truth. One may need a man to assist, but women are the ones that will get the ball rolling. The female energy guiding the boat into harbor is case in point. It is a feminine empowerment card. When people realize how significant the female energy is and divine feminine is, then perhaps they will start treating women with more respect and kindness. And I said, so the card is basically about the feminine energy. And Sunshine says, yes, the men need the women. She holds the anchor, and she alone can guide them to safety. Try another card. Just take it off the top, and let's see if we can end on a positive note. Miss Sunshine. That's about as positive as we can get. I did shuffle these cards, though, I assure you. And she said, try again, because I've already done this one. Okay, so the next card I got is A Long Way Home. Internal, interesting, another anchor appears. Yes, the anchor seems to be a consistent theme today. What does it tell you? And I said, the cards today seem to be telling me to keep myself aligned. I don't want to say weighted down, but there's this overwhelming theme of home and of relationships. I was sort of reminded of Gulliver's Travels today. The Little People, The Big Mermaid. The Little People, The Big Mermaid, and now The Floating Island in the Sky. It seems like this story was written as a satire is being brought forth in these cards. She says, that is a valid summation. The House of Flowers is the little people represented. Then you have the boat with the men. And the giant mermaid. Now you have this floating house in the sky. I said, yeah, but is there a sort of message here? I remember Swift was one of the great satirists when it came to writing. He was at his time he was a real snarky writer. Is there a connection between these cards and a satirical lesson that maybe I'm not seeing? Sunshine says, the fact that you pulled these cards and see them in a satirical message is profound. You've recognized that in today's world, the smallness and materialism that has overtaken people and the role of women in society. Finally, you're seeing people, mostly men, trying to push their ideals onto everyone. There's a sense of arrogance in the people who believe that you must change or conform to suit their way and whims. In saying that you are a long way from home is not a physical place in which you reside, but rather a spiritual home. So while you are feeling grounded by the anchor, you're also free, as in the balloon that is drifting off into space. And it's right here. It's very, very small, but it's there. Okay. The notion that you have to stay in that large palace to find your way home is rather like following a dogma or doctrine. But in the distance, you are choosing to break away and move off into a direction that will lead you to a greater spiritual fulfillment. Jonathan Swift was a master storyteller. He conveyed this in his writing, but not in the easiest ways imaginable. Just remember when you became too tied into a materialism or having everything better than the other people that you have essentially lost the plot. Each story will be a lesson, and when you pull the next card, you will see that when you overcame the obstacles that mankind has set for you, the final outcome will be liberty. Yes, and you see the cage is open. The bird can fly away. Yes, it hasn't. Its wings are ready. In its time, it will. That is the most positive outcome of them all. And she says, yes, it is. And through it all, you will have come full circle. I said, wow, that is truly amazing. I was really gobsmacked by that last card. She said, just as you were gobsmacked when your husband got that phone call last night and you discovered that Ramon had answered your question. The key to all of this is trust, Yvette. Your guides will never lead you astray. Just trust us. I said, I will. Thank you so much, Sunshine. This really blew me away. When I pulled this card, I was completely blown away. I did not do anything to bring that card forth. But when I look at these 5 cards and I see what is in them, but specifically the 4 cards that we talked about. And in this order, these 3 cards are the order. If you studied Jonathan Swift's writing, if you studied Gulliver's Travels, which I loved as a child, I loved the story of Lilliput and Bomdinag, or I think is what it was called. But I love these stories. And the 3rd part was the flying island. The 4th part was the talking horses. So you have like 4 different aspects. But here's the first 3 right here within these cards. You have the big house, the giants, which represents the giants. And you have the little people in the side. And then you have in the second, you have the giant mermaid, and you have the men who are like small. And this made me instantly think of the girl who found Gulliver when he was in Brobdingnag. And I just thought, wow, that is like really, really amazing. But finding this on the flying island with this large balloon, I was very, very astonished that these 3 cards actually outline that. But finding that at the end is liberty. That is a really positive thing. That is the most positive thing I could actually have imagined. And I think that this is like very, very profound because I think it gives hope. We have hope for the future. We have hope that liberty will be within our grasp and that we will have it. And I think that once we get through the storm and get through the entire scenario that we are living out in today's world, I think that in essence, we will come home and we will find liberty. And that is the message, that it will come. We just have to be patient, and we have to just trust our guides and guardians, that they are telling us that everything will be okay. And that this is, in the essence of everything, this is a really, really important message. So I thank you for watching. I thank you for listening. And tomorrow I will look a little bit different because I'm going to the hair salon today and get my hair done. So I finally have this woofle mop here taken care of, and I'll look a little bit more like I haven't just crawled out of bed. So I wish you a wonderful day. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the positive comments. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for subscribing. And I wish you a great day. And as always, namaste.